And welcome to the Stiff Arm. I'm still Ron Mexico, and yes, I definitely am a keeper, a trapper keeper. Joining me on the Stiff Arm, who I still keep around. Why? Because he's the only guy who has the patience to listen to me because he's drunk all the time. Charlie India. Charlie, what's going on?
Good to be here, buddy. Good to be here. This is our second offering on the YouTube where you can actually see. Well, look at him. So don't look over here. It's a scary thing.
I don't. Just close your eyes. Well, before we start off, views and opinions of the Stiff Arm with Ron Mexico are not those of TMV Cafe, its affiliates, nor its sponsors, which I don't know who the hell our sponsors are, but whoever you are, don't take offense. Thank you for the check. We don't have one yet, but thank you in advance. So speaking of which, last night wrapped up the flag football season for me on my now former team. Those of you who don't know the show, I've been playing in various adult flag football leagues since
time began.
Since Moses came down from the mountain with stone tablets and dinosaurs walked the earth. I played on so many different teams. At one point, I was like the Andre Rison of my league. The only thing I needed was just a woman to burn my house down and drop off a cliff in Nicaragua, and it would have been complete. But I played for a while, bounced from different teams. I played for one team that was sponsored by an adult toy store. And I don't mean boats and jet skis. I mean dildos, whips, chains, and other assorted measures. Which was great because we didn't have to pay to play at all. It was free sponsorship. And everybody's like, who do you play for? I go, Premier Adult Factory Outlet. They're like, oh, that store. Like they were all like surprised. Oh, what do they have in there? Are you fucking kidding me? You know what they have in there. Quit me a fucking coy. So I played for them. We won one title. Then that team finally
What was the title?
The title was how many airtight ski pole. Look that up on Urban Dictionary. But played with them for a few years, and that team disbanded, and I moved to another night and picked up with another team. We had different names like every single week. One week we were like Easy Button because we would always lose. We were everyone's easy win. We had Sweetback's famous badass song, famous ham sandwiches. I mean, just the team was just complete dysfunction. And as the seasons went along, everyone pays a fee to play in the league. It's like a softball team, Sure. So we give our money to the captain, and after 2 seasons, the league's like, hey guys, where's your money? I don't know, we've been giving it to so-and-so. You ask her. Turned out she was embezzling all the money.
Oh, no.
So she was into them for like $1,000.
Oh my God.
And they didn't allow the team to play anymore, so she was kicked out of the league. So those of us that were left, we banded together, merged with another team, and we changed our name to Paid in Full, because we would never not be
Paid in full.
And paid in full. So that team, we did very well. We won. We were together from 2009 till 2013. We won it 5 times. We became like the Patriots of our little bit. Yeah, we cheated too. Deflated balls, filming. Actually, I did film a practice. Well, I didn't film a practice. We were playing a team who eventually we merged with. I wanted to beat them so bad. Matter of fact, you were at the game when we won the title.
That's right.
I wanted to beat them so bad that I sat and watched them play a game, had my iPad with me. I took notes on every single thing, all their formations, where they lined up, what guy did what, made a cheat sheet, printed it up, laminated it, brought it to the field. My teammate's like, what's this? I go, this is how we're going to beat these guys.
And you did all this hard work and everything because the prize of winning this league is such
fucking T-shirt.
Yeah, it's a T-shirt, dude. It's a T-shirt.
I didn't care. I wanted to win something. I didn't play. Listen, this is my frustrated junior high school non-athlete where I didn't play and was too cool for school to fucking play and hang out with my jerk off friends. And I was like, I'm going to make this all up.
I got 3 pennies right here. Go buy a life.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep that. Goddamn right I am. I'm going to go to the Trini Fountain right now. So anyway, long story short, flash forward to 2015 last night. My other team, my Paid in Full eventually ran its course. Team disbanded. Started playing for another team that's on Wednesdays now. We can't have enough people every night to field a fucking team.
Kept saying that.
So last night was the playoffs. So like every time it's the playoffs, we always wind up being like I forgot the actor's name. Russell Crowe in Gladiator. You saw Gladiator? You ever see Gladiator?
Yes.
Okay, remember the end of Gladiator where he's going to go fight Johnny Cash, and Johnny Cash stabs him in the lungs. And he's already like, I mean, he knew Johnny Cash is like, I got it, Oakland Raider, whatever it takes. Whatever, he ain't tried. Yeah. So he stabs him in the lungs when he's weak. So every time we go to the play, I always use this analogy. I go, we're stabbed in the lungs. It's a co-ed league. So you have to have 5 guys, 3 girls on the field. Minimum. You could play with 7 girls, 1 guy, whatever combination you want. You have the minimum of at least 3 girls. Yes. So 2 of our girls, 1 travels for work. And we knew that, and we thought the playoffs, because we had a week off in between the last game and the playoffs. So
you have to prepare. I
mean, we have game film, training, the media. It's a bitch. Yeah. It's a drag. And so 2 of our girls didn't make it, and one of the girls, the prior season, did this. She towards the end, she disappeared, and we have so and so, and she's coming back. I'm like, why are you bringing her back? You know what she's going to do, and she did it again. And I had people all set to bring in. I go, listen, I got a guy and a girl. I can play the whole season. No, we're good. Middle of the season, hey, can you get them? Sorry, too late now. Because they're mine.
That's right.
So not only will you see the Stiff Arm with Ron Mexico on YouTube, on TMV Cafe, but you can also come see the team actually play. Last night, I finally pieced together the rest of the roster. I was talking to the guy who runs the league. I said, dude, I need players really bad. I said, I'm good for the money, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Gave me 3 players. So I have enough to fill the roster now. So last night it was like the last second of free agency. Yeah. I was like, I'm like GM of the year. So I say that now. Watch next week, no one will fucking show up. But I got the team pieced together. We're ready to go. The team will be called the Stiff Arm. We're going to look like the Mexican flag. We're going to be green, white, and red. And we'll start play next Wednesday. So if you need tickets, I know a guy who can get you decent seats. If you want to see a really old guy and a bunch of 20-something, fuck you, and a bunch of 20-something-year-olds play football, come on out to Winter Park, Florida. You'll get a good laugh. If not, you'll see me pants a few chicks, which I don't deliberately do. But
when it happens 6 times in 3 games, you got to kind of think there's a pattern here.
Well, yeah, I'm a habitual pants.
It's her flag.
Listen, I always tell them I'm going to tip them. They don't it's change. Yeah. But they don't appreciate it. Well, listen, this is big money. In Europe, this would be a lot of money. So, speaking of a lot of money, first, something that makes a lot of money, your March Madness is down from 64 to 16.
16.
I see your Kentucky team squeaked by, huh?
Yeah, squeaked by. We beat one by 22 and another by 20.
You guys beat the Hotel Barons, Hampton Inn.
Yeah, we beat the Hampton by 22. And the thing is, the coach literally walked on the court and said, guys, calm down. We already got him by 22.
Did he really?
Yeah, we don't need to. He said at halftime, well, we're going to kind of call off the dogs, and still won by 22. But, I mean, it was our 16th ranked team. You're supposed to beat them by a billion points. Then we got on to Cincinnati. And that was a game.
The Bengals?
No.
Reds?
They could have beat the Bengals playing basketball. Come on. Well, I'm probably going to beat half of them playing football.
Don't worry. Andy Dalton would have shot himself in the foot at some point if they were playing the Bengals.
We got like 9 of the biggest tight ends you'll ever see in the damn league. But the idea, Cincinnati tried an approach, which happens in sports, it happens in poker. I'll do it, it's called getting somebody on tilt. I'm not better than you. I can't hang with you. All I can do is make you mad and try to take you out of your game. And that's what Cincinnati tried to do. They had a couple players that would, and the way you do it is like, when you're playing sports, you're always contacting.
Right.
But the whistle blows, beep, and I don't stop my contact. I'm not hitting you, I'm not hurting you.
I'm just annoying the shit out of the guy.
And that's what these guys were doing. Just those little things like, slapping their hands away and pushing a little bit after the bell and hitting after the whistle had rang and, that kind of stuff. Just to.
Whistles ring?
No, bells ring and whistles blow, but I was mixing them up just because it was that bad of a game.
Who's the old guy here?
It was a metaphor. It was a mistake, but that's okay. Anyway, no. And I am the old guy here. Deal with it.
Thank Christ. For once, I'm not the fucking old guy.
But no, so Cincinnati tried that approach. Kentucky started to fall for it, and the coach just pulled him over and said, dude, we're Kentucky. He's not. And the dude that was doing it, number 2, Ellis, ended up fouling out of the game because of the dumb stuff he was doing. And we had a 19-point lead, and the coach said, okay.
What? Okay.
So we ended up winning by 13.
Here's my question about basketball I never understood. I know, it's 5 fouls and you're out. Right?
In college, yes.
What, in the NBA it's not 5?
No, in the NBA it's 6.
Oh, okay. It's okay. So you've got 5 or 6 times of, annoying the shit out of the guy in the back of the car before dad reaches around and smacks the shit out of you and throws you out. what is considered a foul, what's not? I don't understand what's a foul, what's not a foul. Like, I know if the guy's going to go shoot and slap him on the wrist, that's a foul.
Right. Any excessive contact, I mean, you're allowed to box out.
Yeah, because you see guys and they're like, they're that's not a foul.
As long as my arms are inside my body. Now, if I go like that and my arm is outside my body, that's a foul. Yeah, if I lambeer him, that's a foul. But to say what's a foul and what's not, technically, according to any contact, is a foul. It's supposed to be a non-contact sport. It isn't. We all know. We've all played it. You know, and that
now, basketball gets a little nasty underneath the basket. Basketball, it's like the pile of football.
And back in the day, like Bill Walton said, it's you prepare for a basketball game, but you go into a fight. You know, is basically what it is. And not being a big guy, I have not had to spend a lot of time underneath the basket against other big guys. But even, posting up in just street games, I mean, sometimes it's a fight. So to say what's a foul, what's a not, it depends on the referees, how they're calling it. Certain, like me, I'm a let them play kind of guy. So if you ticky-tack, that kind of thing, I'm not going to call it. Some referee will. That is part of coaching, part of the game. And part of the players, what they have to know is how the referee's calling the game. So when number 2 for Cincinnati didn't realize that every time he did something stupid to try to piss Kentucky off, they were calling fouls on him. He's sitting out and watching the end of the game, that kind of thing. He should have tried to find another way. But it's hard to, anything that disrupts the flow of the offensive player, without you having established your position. You both have a right to be where you are, but you can't be moving to get to where you are and hit me as an offensive player without that being a foul. So, and again, it's so subjective. In the sense of you just watch and say, how's that foul?
Do they call? Is it kind of like do they let them play more in the? Is games called tighter in the regular season, or are they called tighter in the playoffs?
Well, no, actually, they let them play more in the playoffs because the idea the referee doesn't want to be the reason that your team advances onto the game
or loses.
Or loses. They want it to be the playoffs. They want it to be the players to do that. So generally you get and in the playoffs, play slows down. You're being more deliberate. Every shot is more important. Every score is a bigger deal. So you need to be more deliberate. So the game tends to slow down a little bit, which makes it more easy to officiate. But it also means that they kind of let them go with some things they wouldn't let them go with before. The referees don't want to be having a discussion on the ESPN why this bad call when give the championship to whoever gives it to. So they tend to back off during the playoffs a little bit, which is good. I'm a big let them play guy. If it doesn't disrupt the flow of the shot, let it go. It didn't matter.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Goddamn Frozen movie. I got that shit on my.
I have never seen that thing,
dude. Let me tell you something. I've been held captive for the past 2 days at the Disney theme parks. Echo Mexico is 12. She's got a friend that's slept over for a couple of days, so we have annual passes to the theme parks.
I don't know which is more amazing, that Echo's 12 or that she has a friend.
She's got a shitload of friends, man. Yeah. It's more amazing that she's only 12, because you see and listen to this kid, you're like, how fucking old are you?
Yeah, she's a pretty smart kid.
But we go to the parks for the past 2 days, and it's been like the Bataan. If you don't know what that is, Google it. BATTAN. It's been like the Bataan Death March for 2 days. And the funny thing is when you go to these, first of all, okay, it started Sunday. Me and Daryl went to Epcot. When we go to Epcot, we used to like to drink around the world. That can get very expensive. You might want to take out a second mortgage, get a loan, whatever, business loan, whatever you got to do to drink at these countries is ridiculous. But it's just like, like 2 beers is like $20.
Holy cow!
You better get fucked up quick.
Yeah.
So and we did. But I think by the time we made it to like Germany, which is like not even, it's about 3/4 of the way. We're like, listen, we got to slow down. we had a long drive home at some point. But while you're
so while you're doing this round the world thing, where are the kids?
Oh, she was at her dad's.
Oh, okay, so she didn't go on.
No, hell no.
Okay, all right. Well, you said Bataan Death March with Disney.
So.
That implies that there's kids making it like the bamboo shoots under the fingernails. So.
Well, there were kids there. Let's put it.
In Disney, there were kids.
You believe that? Well, one of the times we tried to drink around the world. Daryl set her purse down, and I picked up her purse, and I was carrying her purse for her, and she completely forgot about it, and she was ahead of me bullshitting some other people. And all of a sudden she turns around, where's my fucking purse? I can't find my fucking purse. What the fuck? Goes into a complete Tourette's fit trying to find her purse. And the security guard goes, ma'am, you're at a family attraction. Oh, fuck you!
That's Daryl.
And I go, dear, I have your purse. Oh, okay. and she was reverted back to normal at that point. But it was just like, I was like, and what happens if you get arrested by? I mean, I just have images of you going to Disney court, like Mickey Mouse is the judge, Goofy's the public defender,
Seven Dwarfs are the jury,
Seven Dwarfs is the jury, Donald Duck's the prosecutor. I mean, it's talk about a fucking kangaroo court. I mean, it's a fucking disaster. But while you're there, you first of all, you forget that people are on vacation. You know, living here, like I never go. I rarely go to the theme parks, but it's just like, you know, we had some extra money. We're like, we gotta find something to entertain this kid. You know, there's only so much I could see her. You know, what are you doing? Playing Minecraft, which I don't get. Have you heard of that? I don't get that.
I've heard of it.
I don't understand
any of those games.
Why would you want to play a video game that looks like something that I played in the 80s?
Yeah.
On a system that's designed to look like you're playing fucking movies. I mean, the shit now. I mean, I got this one game at home that Kevin Spacey's on it. It looks. It looks like that whatever that show is that he plays the president on. I forgot what the hell it is. House of Cards or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I look at this guy and go, Jesus Christ. I mean, I still have an Atari 2600 that works, that operates.
Wow.
And I actually got it to plug it into a flat screen like this, and it looks like shit. But I was showing her all the different sports games and how far they'd come, and I put like the basketball, like the Atari 2600 basketball, and it's just like two like stick figures that are all like they're all made of squares, and it's just like beep. That's the sound effects, and it's like all you can go is goes up, down, forward, back. Like you can't do speed. I mean, nowadays you can create your own dunks, you can do all kinds of shit with these things.
The video games are so good now, and I love it because I just got a new game, and of course you have to sit through the opening movie sequence.
Yeah.
My wife sat down. What movie is this? I'm like, this isn't a movie. This is a video game. But the quality of it was so good that it looked like an actual movie. Yeah, she sat down and started watching. I'm like, baby, you know it's going to end like in 3 minutes because I'm going to play a game. But it's that good, and I love video games. Love playing, you know that, and have a good time with them. But man, it's crazy now what they can do. Compare. I mean, I remember the Pong.
I have one of those that works too.
Oh, play that for hours. You know,
that was just straight entertainment. This rectangle bar, and it just went vertical, and that's all it did.
Man, then the biggest one of them, Space Invaders, came out. Well, Pong was out the window. Now we're saving the world. Side to side, shoot, side to side.
You was that asshole. I always hated the asshole. If you're in the middle of playing a game and you come up and you just put that quarter like that. I have never. Like, fuck you, man.
You better bring your team.
If I was at 5 and knew how to use a knife, I would cut you.
I had there was one. It was a Star Wars game, and I got so good at it that I dropped my wife off at work. Went to the bowling alley to play. This is when you had to go to the machine. You didn't have them at home.
You got to go to bowling alleys. There were no arcades. It was bowling alleys.
So I went to the bowling alley, put a quarter in this thing, and started playing it, and didn't realize how long I had been there till the bowling alley, because you didn't have cell phones either. The desk person from the bowling alley is going, Charlie, what?
We need your shoes.
Your wife's on the phone. She's off work and ready for you to pick her. I'm like, I've been here for 8 hours.
Oh my god!
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Those are like the poor man's casinos.
Oh,
is what they were.
Wow.
There's no clock.
Oh yeah, no, there's nothing.
It wasn't pure oxygen be pumping there. It was cigarette smoke. It's like we're in a fucking coal mine in West Virginia. You must have felt very much at home.
I did very much.
But other than that, I mean, any back to keep it on track with what's going on, and we've got about 90 seconds till break. But huge upsets. March Madness is always known for that. Tease us.
I'm going to tease you with
tickle my asshole a little bit.
Some major upsets. If you're let me give you an example of how bad it was. After the first day of 4, okay, ESPN came up with this, and I was watching on the show. They were saying last year they had 11 million brackets, and after the first day, 1,500 of them were perfect. Out of all this, which is a hugely small amount. For this year, they had 1,500 brackets, and after the first day, 237 were still perfect. That's how many upsets we had. That's how many upsets we'll be talking about, and that was just the first day. When we got to the weekend, well, there's a bunch of people who are just watching us on TV, watching it the same way Charlie India watches it, sitting in a cave, because you ain't playing no more.
No, it's over. Sorry, goodbye.
One and done, baby.
But all right, speaking of which, let's run on break here.
We'll talk more about that.
We'll come back with your second quarter on the stiff arm. Second quarter on your stiff arm with Ronn Mexico. So the March Madness, before we just came on air, Charlie goes, so did you watch any of the March Madness. I said it was on at some points in the background. It was on at a restaurant I was at. The only thing I check about what March Madness is to see if Kentucky wins, because I don't know what I'm going to be dealing with, how cantankerous he's going to be. So I'm just like, please win. I don't want to deal with fucking because the best was last year when we were just doing this by radio. It was like the day. I think it was the day after because we were recording on Tuesdays, and it was the day after. So I go, well, man, at least you got there. Or I was trying to, console him. So there's nothing. There's no consoling this guy. There's none at all. Just go. All right, Charlie goes, fucking, and goddamn foul shots. And, well, actually, you weren't that animated.
No,
you were just like, this is his face. How's it going, Charlie?
It's my face all the time.
Oh, fucking, shot ourselves to goddamn foot. No, it wasn't. And when the funny is, I'll bring something up and I'll go, well, did you guys? No, we didn't goddamn do that. It's blasphemy.
My favorite question the day after your team loses the championship is, well, weren't you happy that they made it to the championship game? No, I wasn't happy.
I wouldn't be. No, I totally agree with you. That if by some, I'm not happy if I lose the fucking Xbox Super Bowl. I'm pissed off about that. And there's like this is a complete fan. You can just hit reset and play it again.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not. That's not good enough, man. It's not good enough. So what were So we teased you with upsets, huge upsets. What would you define as a huge upset?
Anytime that there's more than four, to me, if there's 4 places between your seedings, like if you're a number 3 and a number 8, and the 8 wins, that's a big upset to me. If you're a 5 and if you're playing a 6 and a 6 win, 8 and a 9 and a 9 wins, I don't care if 7, 10. But if there's 4 spots between your seeding numbers, to me that constitutes as an upset. So there were a lot of those.
So how many ones got knocked off?
Just one, but again, a 1 got knocked off. It was Villanova. I haven't seen Villanova play all year.
First of all, where is Villanova? I don't even know what it's in Philly?
Big East, so it's got to be Philly area, that kind of deal. Again, haven't seen them. One of the few teams I haven't seen play all year, and they got knocked off. I mean, it was NC State, I believe, knocked them out, and they're a number 8 seed. And it was just amazing to watch that kind of thing, because you're thinking the one thing that the tournament's designed is that they want the goal is to have all the number 1s be in the Final Four, because that would be your best supposedly your best Final Four, your 4 highest ranked teams. So as the tournament goes, like for instance Kentucky, they have 4 number 1s. Well, they have to rank them 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. So Villanova got the 1D. So 1D gets the supposedly harder path in, because they want Kentucky in the Final Four. They want, all these other teams, Wisconsin and that kind of stuff. So Villanova got the 1D option package, but still, they're a 1 seed losing to an 8 seed. That's a huge upset for a number 1 to go out and not make it to the Sweet 16.
What in the NBA would that be the equivalent of?
Be roughly not the 1-8, but maybe the 2-7. But again, the NBA.
But I'm talking like team, like shitty team, be like the Magic knocking off. Like the Spurs, something like that?
Not quite that big. Well, yeah, pretty much, I guess. But, I mean, the idea is, though, in the NBA, that crap will never happen in the sense that it's a 7-game series.
Right.
Which is why March Madness is so much more fun to me than the professional playoffs, because, again, they really want the best teams in the NBA and the NFL. They really want those best teams to get there. So they set it up that way. But baseball, and not so much the NFL, but baseball and basketball, I mean, in the pros, man, you have to really have a bad week, not just a bad game, to go to not advance. They really want the best teams, because it's a best of 7. So any team can beat you once in a while. And Kentucky could lose 1 time to somebody, but they're not going to lose 4 times to somebody. That's why March Madness is such a big deal. If you lose 1 time, you're out.
Who now? Patino's got a lot of history there, but do you think Calipari do you think it's possible for him to trump?
Oh, he already has.
Patino's legacy.
He already has.
What I mean by I don't know. All I know about Rick Pitino is he got caught fucking somebody. He coached the Celtics, and now he's with Louisville. That's all I know about Rick Pitino.
Well, I mean, no, Rick Pitino was great. I mean, I love Rick Pitino. He wrote his book was fabulous. Did I tell you the story about how?
No.
Rick Pitino in his book has a story about how Kentucky fans are so just, you just don't get this. They're all rabid. And he's just like constantly as coach, I'm getting, you have to come see my son play. You have to come see, he's going to be for Kentucky. He's going to be great. He says, the worst one I got, says a guy wrote me, you have to see my son. He's going to play. He's going to be, coach, he's going to be at Kentucky. You need to send him a sonogram.
Jesus Christ.
The kid wasn't even born. So,
I think I met some of these parents at my daughter's football and soccer leagues.
But that's how bad it is there. I mean, or how good it is, depending on how you look at it. I mean, when I was watching one of the games, and I don't remember the two teams, but this is the March Madness, the NCAA tournament. Two teams are playing at the same site that Kentucky played in.
Right.
Kentucky was going to play the next game. So there's the game that's going on, a half-hour break, and then the Kentucky game. There were more fans in Kentucky jerseys watching the first game than there were fans of the teams that were there.
Wow.
That's how well Kentucky
Have you ever been to a tournament?
I have.
I want to know how this works, because if they play 4 games in a day, if you buy one ticket, do you sit there for all 4 games all day, or is it just like, okay, your game is from this time to this time, and get the fuck out. Now we're going to bring all the... I mean, how they control the chaos with that?
Well, again, the idea is because the tournament seedings don't come out until Sunday, and the first round starts on Thursday, a lot of people don't have the luxury of not knowing where they're going to go, buying a ticket to get into the game, and then all the transportation, that's last-minute transportation that's involved. So a lot of people don't have that advantage. You can't do that. So especially the early rounds don't sell out as much as you would think. I mean, they sell out. There's a lot of people there, but I mean, it's hard. I mean, if you find out on Sunday that now on Thursday you have to be all the way across the country, you have no hotel, and the Final Four is known that it's going to be there for a while.
Right.
The tournament's going to be there for a while. But I mean, because of the seating bracket. Now, Kentucky, you can tell Kentucky tomorrow that they're going to play in a parking lot in Phoenix, Arizona, and they would sell out Phoenix, Arizona. That's just the way
So does anyone work in the state of Kentucky?
They already have made all their money, baby, because listen, in Kentucky, here's the way Kentucky is. And Kentucky is a beautiful state to live in if you have money. You ain't going to make no money there, working stiffs like us. But if you already have the money that goes with being, part of the legacy and the heritage, then yeah, it's great. It's beautiful. So yeah, there's a lot of rich.
So if you own a bluegrass farm or a distillery,
if you have bluegrass,
or a horse,
if you have bluegrass blood in you, then
or tobacco.
But again, it's spectacular the way it is. So again, more fans at somebody else's game than there were, for the one that was going on. So it's great. But to get back to the tournament, man, just a blast. The first day.
Here's my first question. How many hours, last Thursday when you started, how many hours straight did you watch?
13. It starts at noon. And I
can't even do football that long. As much as I love it, I'm like, fuck this. I need something else.
Well, okay, and put it in perspective. I didn't just do 13 straight. I did 13 straight on either 1, 2, or 3 channels at a time. Because I got the setup back here, so it's easy to watch 2 at a time. But I had the computer and I had the stream on it. So at one point, I'm having 3 games going at the same time for 13
Look
hours.
like a stockbroker.
Oh yeah, it really was. It really was. And what you do is you pick the ones you want and the volume and that kind of thing that goes with it. But it was a blast. It started, like I said, it started at noon. They got smart this year because it used to be they would run a package of games in the afternoon. Then there'd be like a 2-hour break, and they would start the second package. Well, then it was hard to catch all 4 games at the same time. Well, this year they spaced them out to where that 2-hour break is gone. There's games going on in between there, so continuously from noon to 1 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, and got back in it at noon on Friday, and went till 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So for 2 days in a row. And I mean,
what's the longest day? Are they all the same about length of time for games, or is one day?
Well, the first day
load up more than the other.
Well, yeah, the first days, the Thursday and Friday are the longest. I mean, they're playing 32 games in 2 days.
Right.
So then after that, then you're playing 16 games in 2 days and 8 games. So it's easier. But yeah, 32 games in 2 days was what I said.
How many Compass Point colleges advanced? I think that should just be a division, just called Compass.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at all the ones that
North by Northwest State.
See, the thing is, there's a school, and this school. Listen to me. I know you listen because you just do. Northeastern.
You have ears. That's why we know.
Northeastern is a school that made it to the tournament. Northeastern what?
Is their rival Northwestern?
I don't know. Where are you? Northeastern China? Are you Northeastern? Give me something. So. I'd have to go. We'll have to go back and look at the Sweet 16, see who is advanced as far as that goes. But I mean, the idea being And on Thursday, 5 of the games were 1-point games.
Wow.
And the idea is you played the whole season, you played your conference championship, and now your tournament's over by 1 point. That's the beauty of this tournament.
It's the NFL. It's the NFL equivalent of the.
Yeah.
But do you think they should maybe do this with basketball and with the NBA instead of these 7-game series that seem to just fucking drag on and on? Like it doesn't end, especially if it's like a seed. I mean, it's kind of exciting when let's say it's an 8th seed that pushes a 1 to the brink.
Right.
Wasn't Toronto last season? I forgot, but I mean they seem to be a lot of that last year in the NBA. But don't you think it would make? I mean, for a league that wants to make more ad revenue, and would it be better to do that to make the NBA format like a? I know there's not enough teams, but
you don't want a one and done at a pro level in the sense that
why not? You're the fucking pros, man. You should be that good enough to whoop someone's ass or upset someone's that much.
I think maybe a 3-game, maybe a 5-game. The 7 it
drags, man.
Drags.
It's too long. Especially like baseball. Oh fuck. I mean, hockey, at least there's going to be a fight breaking out at some point. You're going to see someone get the shit beaten out of each other.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind a 3 or a 5 game. But I mean, this 7, making it all around. Because the first round of the NBA playoffs used to be
5.
Yeah, 5. And that was exciting because an 8 did win.
Why did they do that?
More games, more money.
But they bumped it to 7.
That's what I'm saying. Is 7 not more than 5? Who's the old guy now?
Do you know how long it took me to get out of community college, folks? 5 fucking years. I got a master's degree.
He only got his GED from that.
I got an AA, which stands for an addition to my high school diploma. That's what that degree stands for.
But yeah, that's why, again, March Madness, one and done, such a cool thing. So anyway, back to it. Thursday, 5 teams, either win or lose, 1 point. Over the course of Thursday and Friday, there were 2 more 2-point games, 2 more 3-point games, and a 4-point game. 2, and here's where your upsets come in. 2 of each bracket is 16. Because again, Ronn's not a basketball guy, so there are 4 brackets of 16 teams. All right, 2 of the 14 seeds beat the number 3 seeds that they were playing. That's ridiculous.
A 14?
A 14 beat a 3.
Wow.
Twice, not once, but twice, and they were in the same bracket, so they got to play each other in the next round. Or not quite. I mean, it was.
They don't ever play 2 games in the same day. They'll give a day off.
Of course not. They get if you play on Thursday, you play the winners on Thursday, play on Saturday. Okay. The winners on Friday, play on Sunday.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
And that's what we're so like tonight because Kentucky played on Thursday last week. Kentucky plays tonight, and then if they win, they'll play Saturday. All right, and then whoever plays Friday.
So they try to keep that so all the teams it's fair in travel time and rest.
Sure. And rest, and that's the main thing is the rest and everything else. So we had 5 1-point games, 2 14s advance. It was a number 2 goes down. 2 number 2s between the whole weekend went down. Virginia's out. Virginia was the number 2 team in the country most of the year, and they end up not even making it to the Sweet 16. UCLA has advanced as a number 11 seed. I mean, and an 11 seed is in the Sweet 16 now. It's spectacular. It was all the drama of it. I mean, you just have to actually watch it.
It was one shining moment, folks. Okay. Which at some point I'm gonna cue it up on the show. We're gonna see this big softie start crying over this goddamn James Ingram song or whoever the hell sings it.
Well, I mean,
the guy from Aladdin.
All right. Speaking of the one shining moment, with a face like this, stop it.
I'm gonna serenade you.
Kind of lame.
I said, no bullshit. It's good. My wife taught me to sing. You ever heard her sing?
Yeah.
It's fucking bad, isn't it?
It's fucking
really not badass. It's bad.
It's like strangling cats.
Shit, is it awful?
But anyway, the one shining moment that we're talking about is at the end of the tournament. Everybody knows they show the highlight reel of the tournament, and they put it to this song. Well, I'm kind of a cheery ray of sunshine, to everybody.
Huge ray of sunshine.
But I mean, a few things get.
He's always walking on it.
A few things get to me. Ray Charles sings "America the Beautiful." I'm good. At the end of Rocky II.
Matter of fact, I'm going to start calling you Katrina on the Wave because you're walking on fucking sunshine.
There you go. Absolutely.
Right. Katrina, so keep going.
But when Rocky wins the fight. Adrian's at home. She can't have the baby. She should have the baby. While he's, Adrian, I did it. She's, I love you, Rocky. I'm like, I do. Certain things, man. I'm just sorry. They get you. To me, it's the victory things. It's the win, that kind of thing. When I crossed the finish line, Ironman. Dude, I'm telling you what, they handed me that little $6 medal. I clutched that thing like it fell to my knees and sobbed like a puppy.
Did they give you the baked potato blanket?
They tried to. I didn't.
What the fuck is the point of that?
It insulates you because your body heat's just shooting right out of you, so that keeps your body heat inside. You said you can just.
Don't you want to cool off though? I mean, you just rode a bike, swam, and ran. What the fuck else do you do?
No, you want to keep your body because it's been leaving you all day long, so you can actually have everything shut down. But the idea being, because I watch the tournament, I watch almost every game, and I watch every game that I can. I know these guys. I know the players. I know the coaches. I know why when that senior walks off after losing by 1 point, that's his last game with this coach he's been with for 4 years, who's been recruiting. He's
not crying because he lost, because the free stream of trim that he's been getting at college is gone. That's why they're crying. There's no more free meals, no more free pussy. Now they got to pay for everything. That's why they're crying.
All right, fine. It's just a song they play from the day.
I want to know more about the baked potato blanket. I want to know why you refused to. You should have kept that.
I'm slow and old. I wasn't that hot. I didn't finish.
They could have put you on the couch and gave you some cocoa.
Well, dude, I'm not kidding. I mean, I lost 12 pounds that day.
How bad did you seize up after doing? Like, did your muscles ever? Did you look at like those guys you see on Wide World of Sports where they're coming in?
No,
they look like Stephen Hawking trying to walk.
I saw guys like that though.
I can't imagine. I mean, I've gotten Charlie horses in the middle of the night sleeping where you jump out of bed and your calf cramps. Imagine your whole fucking body seizing up like that.
Again, for those who don't know, the Ironman is a competition where you swim 2.4 miles, you ride a bicycle 112 miles, and then since you're all warmed up, you go ahead and run a marathon.
Yeah.
So at the end, I'm loose now. At the end of the bicycle ride, so the guy's already swam 2.4 miles. He's ridden a bike 112 miles. He's getting off there, and they meet you, and they grab the handlebar so you can get off, and then they put your bike away for you, and then you go. The guy stops, and he can't get off the bike. He's literally frozen up in that position. God. It took 3 people to pick him up, and he literally, the whole time they're carrying him, he's like this. He's that frozen. He cannot move.
Did he try to run, or was he done for the day?
He was done. He was done. You just get dehydrated now.
Yeah.
But in Ironman spirit, to show you how my Ironman went, 35 miles into the bike ride, again, it's a 112-mile bike ride, and a marathon afterwards, I threw up all over my shoes. Ironman style, I picked up my water bottle, rinsed them bad boys off. I didn't even stop pedaling. I don't care.
When you're swimming, if you got to pee, that makes sense. But if you're riding the bike or if you're running, if you got to piss, what do? You just let it go down your leg?
Well, no. What they have, they have porta-johns, they have the rest areas and everything else. People let it go down their leg.
I'm about to say, you would have to. I mean, if you're that competitive, you want to win this thing.
No, you don't. You stop at the thing, you take...
Someone who's really... Okay, so the guys who do the one out in Hawaii, like what is their average... The ones that are good, what is their average start to finish time?
About 9 hours.
Oh my God! How do you not piss or shit yourself in 9 hours? I mean, how do you not? You have to.
Yeah, they do, and
that's the drama of competition I want to see. The agony of defeat. I want to see a guy running and he's got like the runs going down his leg. That's what I want.
They don't do that. I mean,
why not? Big for compelling television.
Really?
He disqualified because he shit his pants. Well, this is why I wear all brown.
That's why they wear all black.
Hide stains.
So that's why you don't see the white pants anymore. So, but no, I mean that's it.
Especially when bowling.
But it was cool. But I mean, the idea was I didn't finish when the sun was up. The sun had been down for several hours before I crossed that finish line. I mean, to say that it took the guy that won it 8 hours and 45 minutes, it took me 15 hours.
Oh my God!
So I mean, that's
a long fucking day.
It was a long day.
How long did you sleep the next day?
Oh, quite a bit. But I mean, again,
can you sleep? I mean, are you that?
Well, things happen. Like for instance, at the 90-mile mark of the bike ride, they brought in this group of Cub Scouts were there, and they brought in these 10-cent Burger King hamburgers, which is literally a little piece of hamburger, a little piece of ketchup, and that's it, dude. That was the best food I had my whole life, man. Because you're so hungry.
Yeah.
But you're seasoning up because you're trying to stay hydrated. So you're throwing down Gatorade and this stuff called goo. It's just
I've seen that.
It is just goo. So by the time, oh man, real food. But to show you the Ironman spirit and things that make these things important, and why you get all emotional about stuff like this, at the 90-mile mark, after I finish eating this wonderful 10-cent Burger King burger, I look over. I'm sorry, there's a bicycle seat on the floor, on the ground. Some guy was having trouble with his bike. He said, screw it, took the seat off, threw the thing on the road, and rode 22 miles standing up.
Oh, so the one you did wasn't the 100-mile bike?
Yeah, 112 miles. At the 90-mile mark, this guy still had 22 miles to ride with no seat on his bicycle, but he wanted to finish that bad that he did that.
Holy shit.
I saw people, again, you talk about the Bataan Death March. You ought to be out on Ironman at 10 o'clock at night since you've been racing since 7 o'clock that morning. Literally, all you're doing is you're not watching the competitors to pass them. You're watching, you say, is this guy going to throw up? I got to go this way. Is this guy going to throw up? I got to go this way. That's what it was, but those people would not quit. I saw people miss the deadline because the lap you do around the lake is 7 miles, and you know how long it takes you to run 7 miles or walk it. The cutoff was coming for them. They knew it was over. They didn't care. They went out and finished that last 7 miles anyway, just to say they crossed. They weren't going to get a medal. They were going to get a T-shirt. Nothing. But that's the spirit of the Ironman.
Just pure satisfaction.
Pure satisfaction of doing it.
All right, we're going on to the break here. So we'll be back with the third quarter on the stiff arm. Third quarter on your stiff arm with Ronn Mexico. So, Charlie, we're coming up with ideas for the show to talk about this week, and you were talking about how there's I would say UFC fighter named, what's her name?
Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey. I'm actually aware of who she is. I looked her up. Pretty. Not that I'm amazed that she's an attractive girl, because there are attractive female athletes. I'm amazed. Well, I guess this is a tribute to how good she is. But when I think of a female fighter, I think of a girl's face is going to be all busted up. And you think of the male fighters, and especially in the UFC, those guys have those big ass cauliflower ears. I mean, they're very attractive men.
Brock Lesnar, look at them guys.
And it's like, oh fuck, what's happened? Yeah, it looks great. It's a nice look. But she had a fight last week,
it's been a
couple of weeks ago, that lasted, you were telling me, 14 seconds.
14 seconds.
So that's like the Tyson Spinks fight from the 80s, which lasted longer. That seemed like Gone with the Wind compared to this chick's fight.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what was you were bringing up a point about, is it good, basically Charlie's point was, is it good for sport if you have someone that is just so dominant and so unstoppable, or do you want things to be like today's NFL, which is basically everyone gets a medal for participation?
Right. And that's what a lot of the pro leagues are going to. The reason I brought up Ronda Rousey, just to give you the numbers, she's been in 11 fights at the various organizations that she's been in. She's won them all. Only one fight has gone past the first round. And all the fights have been there were 2 TKOs and 9 submissions.
First of all, how many rounds typically is a UFC
3.
Unless men and women, is it all the same?
It's 3, unless it's a championship, and then it's 5 rounds.
Okay.
And they're 5-minute rounds.
Wow. So no matter what, it's always 5?
5 minutes round.
Fuck.
So you're out there for a long time.
You gotta be in goddamn shape.
You really do. You really do. And if you don't think so, just try wrestling with a brother or a friend for 5 minutes without stopping and find out
just try throwing punches at a body bag, at a bag for 30 seconds.
Just do jumping jacks for 5 minutes. Just I mean, you can be a runner, you can do all this kind of stuff, but it's a different breed of cat, to be in a fight for that long, So that's the way the rounds work. Again, so she's only one time been past the first round. 9 of the 11 have been less than a minute. The 14-second fight that she had only eclipsed by 2 seconds the 16-second fight that she had previous to that. So she's coming in, and 9 of the 11 wins have been by the same move, armbar.
Without I don't know.
Without doing it to you?
Wait, you're basically taking a guy or person's arm, but you're like,
no, what it is
behind your back.
I get you.
Just do it.
Okay, I'll get you down on the ground.
Right.
We would fall to the ground.
Right.
I would put your arm between my legs and then just basically break your arm over my hip.
Oh fuck.
Okay. So it's the way it would work, and basically by getting your elbow straight, bringing it down here, and then I just crank on it until you just have to.
So you tap out.
Yeah.
You fucking.
And if you don't tap out, then the bone's gonna be coming through pretty.
I had a friend of mine, one of the guys I used to play football with, but this was on the team sponsored by the porno store. That was his exercise. He loved doing. He did Muay Thai, martial arts. He always tried to get me. You'd love it. No, I wouldn't love it. I don't want to have to fight somebody unless I absolutely have to. I don't want to do that as a method of training. Just because I know at some point I will get so frustrated with it. I don't know what I'm going to do. That's what I'm afraid of. I don't consider myself a badass by any means, but if I could get good and pissed enough, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
Well, I actually do MMA as a form of training because, I'm old. So I've lifted weights I've lifted more weights than you can count. I've done every little new thing that came along. So I thought, well, why do you want to be all strong about, get in there and I mean, again, you cannot describe how much a 5-minute session of continuous nonstop wrestling or fighting or
and where you fucking
it just wears you out. Again, I'm not a badass myself, but don't push it too far, But the idea is just that it's such a great all-body workout that I love it. I train MMA all the time. But the idea, the conversation we're getting into was, this is a dominant Mike Tyson-style performance that's going on right now. Keep an eye on it. These are the things I try to tell people when we talked about it. Watch the things that are big. Don't just focus on your team. Watch the things that are around you that are big that are going on. And
I'm a proponent for... I don't like parity. I don't like the fact that everyone has a chance all the time. I grew up when I grew up watching, and it sounds very old, grumpy old manish when I say this. We are grumpy old men, but I feel like I liked it when someone was so dominant. It just created this, like you just wanted to take them down. Yeah. And when they did take them down, it was huge news. I mean, like New England losing a Super Bowl, like when New England lost to the Giants when they were undefeated, and when the Giants beat them the second time. When the first time it was big because it was undefeated, but it's almost very commonplace for that to happen in the NFL nowadays, where just because someone's that dominant doesn't mean they're going to lose. I mean, literally, they've leveled the playing field. And like you're saying, you give the example about Tiger Woods and about this girl, even in boxing. I mean, I really feel that's what's killed boxing so much. I remember boxing in the 80s, it was always like, it seemed like Marvin Hagler forever, or it was Larry Holmes forever, or Boom Boom Mancini, like all these. I don't know how long but I remember those names, Sugar Ray Leonard, all these, Duran, like these guys that just dominated forever. And then like when Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, I mean, that was just like, did that really just fucking happen?
I know, exactly.
Holy shit, he just lost. There's no way this guy will lose.
To show you how big a shock that was, I was actually at a strip club with a buddy the night of that
watching
fight.
It for boxing.
No, I wasn't watching the fight. However, once they said Tyson just lost, all the guys, it was like there wasn't a girl in the place.
Those strippers.
Every guy went and looked. We're watching the replay, and it was like, guys, we're at a strip club. We're supposed to be over here. But that's how big a deal it was. But don't do that anymore. But
because there are no strip clubs that are worthy in Orlando, that's why.
But but that's how big a deal it was. And the thing that I'm saying is, and again, you mentioned Tiger Woods. I don't play golf. I don't watch golf. But I did get interested in golf when Tiger Woods was playing because it was so good. It was so it made it interesting to see what he was going to do. It was Tiger against the field, and normally you would pick Tiger. I mean, that was the bet. And when somebody's that good at what they're doing, even if it's a sport I don't care about, I still want to see its history. I want to see what's going to happen. I want to be talking about Tiger, once it's over and all that kind of stuff. So Tiger created a phenomenon where kids were picking up golf clubs and wanting to go play. And it wasn't a resurgence of golf. It was a surgence. I don't know if that's even a word, but it was just, no one had ever done that before. So Tiger was that big to the game. So the idea is, do you like last year. Well, use this example. Last year on the show that we did on radio, that we do on radio, in July, I told you that the Dolphins were going to be 8-8 and miss the playoffs by a game. Parity. What happened? 8-8 and they missed playoffs by a game. Was that entertaining? Is the fact that because your team's 500, but everybody else in the league is 500, that your team still has a mathematical chance to be in the playoffs, does that keep you entertained? Or do you want to be the 14 or 15-0 Patriots, realizing that you beat the crap out of everybody, it's time to go into the playoffs? I don't know. So, the leagues, I think, want the parity. They want, because the longer that you think your team has a shot to be in the playoffs, the more you watch. I mean, baseball.
Well, the more you watch, the more revenue. A lot of these teams have opportunities to sell their merchandise because now their teams, it's a name. I mean, I get it from a business standpoint.
I'm talking as a fan. I mean, what do you do as a fan?
As a fan, I don't like it. I don't like it. I want to. I miss the days of when teams would load up and they would just be dominant. It was like Dallas and San Francisco forever. Like, oh, just someone knock one of these motherfuckers off.
And that's the thing. It creates a unifying. I mean, whether you're a New England fan, a Jets fan, you hated, the Cowboys, because they were so dominant for so long. Everybody, it was either you were a Cowboy fan or you were a Cowboy hater.
Right.
There was no. They're all right.
I mean, like I say, this was the first year probably since, and parity kind of brought me to kind of follow Dallas this year and kind of root for them a little bit, which I normally wouldn't,
right?
Because the majority of Cowboy fans I ever met were just fucking jerk-offs. But this year in particular, I mean, it was just an interesting story. It was a team that was expected to do absolutely nothing, and came out of nowhere. I was like, holy shit, what did they do? So, I mean, I don't know. I kind of go, and that kind of contradicts what I just said about I want dominance, but it's like you kind of, I don't know. I mean, I like dominance light, if you want to put it that. Almost like the saccharine.
You want dominant, but not invincible.
Yes. I want a team that's really, really good, but I want to know that hey, you could beat them. But I think it's. I mean, it's like in sports. It's like I'm scrambling here trying to come up with something to make a point, but.
No, really, that's what we do all the time, man. That's the whole damn show.
But I mean, it's
dead air right now.
Yeah.
Well, to give you an example, again, you use the Tyson example. When Mike Tyson was fighting, it was an event, and just to see if he was going to knock the guy out in 23 seconds or if it was going to last for a minute. I saw him knock out some dude so hard that the guy fell so hard he broke his leg on the way down.
Jesus.
I mean, the dude was that. So I like those kind of things. I like the Ronda Rouseys. I like the dominant. I like the Tiger Woods. The things like that. And as much as I'm not a Bulls fan, to watch the Jordan Bulls when they were winning their 72 or they're trying to going for records and things like that. The Lakers with Chamberlain when they were doing all these things. I enjoyed that in the sense that this is something that it's going to happen this year. It's not going to happen next year. I'm not worried about it being a trend for that long. And it's something to watch. It's something that, again, I guess as I'm getting older, the idea is having things that you're going to be able to tell your grandkids about and stuff like that. Because the things that I saw are now so old. By the time that by the time they get old, the 72 Dolphins will be irrelevant 20 years from now.
Right.
Even if they stay undefeated, I mean, there'll be something that'll be so far past.
Well, the thing too is the majority of people that witness the 72 Dolphins, let's face it, like you said, 20, 25, 30 years from now, those people ain't going to be on the fucking planet anymore. So to carry the lore of that story is just like...
Yeah. So we need new stories or current stories.
Get some new shit.
Yeah. And that's really what it is. Get some new stuff.
It is true. I mean, that Bulls team, for an example, you said, my sister's second husband, she collects them. It's a hobby. Her second husband knew a guy who was friends with the guy who played Stuff, the mascot for the Magic, and he got us free tickets, during the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. It was Shaq and Penny's last game as members of the Magic, and that was when the Bulls had. It was Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Kukoc. Oh, it's called Kukovic. Kukoc. The Bulls. This is the Bull. I think this is the Bulls' final run of their second three-peat. I wanted to go more so to see. Hey, I saw Michael Jordan play. I saw for that, and I didn't give a fuck about the Magic, but I wanted to say, hey, at least I saw it.
Sure.
I saw one of these guys in person. It's something, especially in sports, which has become, it's so high up on list of important things in the country. Despite things we really should worry about. I mean, let's face it, sports is a big to-do.
Well, it gives you the diversion because we have big problems. We have big things we have to be concerned about. So this is something that is basically not going to ruin. I mean, if you let it ruin your life, it will. But I mean, it just gets me away from the crap that is ruining my life. For a little while. Give me 2 hours of rooting for Kentucky and watching them win, and then I got to go back and realize, what I got to do with the checkbook and what I got to hoping that the lights stay on long enough for the game to end, that kind of thing. But I mean, I like.
Is there more? Is there parity in college basketball, or is college basketball pretty much same kind of teams always get in.
Well,
because college seems like the sport where there isn't that much parity.
Well, there isn't in the sense that, especially in basketball. Now, again, I'm not a college football guy, so I can attest to that, and I obviously don't watch baseball.
College football, it seems like it's the same teams all the time to me.
Well, again, if you're a kid in high school, do you want to play for Florida State, knowing that you're going to be in a title hunt every year, and that even if you're not, you're going to get national recognition for every time you blow your nose? Or do you want to be the star on Southwest North Dakota State, who's never going to see the light of day?
Right.
Yeah, you're going to be the star, whereas this guy, you're going to be playing for the perennial Florida State. Well, it's easy to recruit. John Calipari, everybody talks about what a great recruiter he is. He is. However, it's pretty easy when you go into a kid's house and go, hey, you want to play for Kentucky? Oh, yeah, all right, well, let's go. That kind of deal. Now, where he excels are in other areas, don't get me wrong. But so yeah, certain programs have that built-in advantage. I mean, North Carolina in basketball, Kentucky, Duke, Maryland, Stanford, UCLA. I mean, it's not hard to sell those programs, so it does make it easier to recruit. Which, because it makes it easier to recruit, they're always getting good guys. Kentucky's had 3 years in a row, their whole starting five goes to the NBA the very next year. Okay, then they keep a few guys from last year. Then they bring in the #1 recruiting class this year. So look at where they are. Guess what they're getting next year? The #1 recruiting class.
They're getting that guy Sonogram.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. Sonogram's finally got it. He can ride at Disney now. So, by like twice, because he's tall. But so parity is not there necessarily. However, where parity comes into play is because so many of the one and dones are there. Once you get to a certain level, it does kind of balance out. So, like Kentucky's the Goliath right now. But Wisconsin is thinking, well, all right, let's go see what they can do, that kind of deal. So parity in college basketball, it's a lot of the same teams, different players, but again, because the programs lend themselves to the recruiting aspect.
I think with sports, just like any other drama, any other story, you need an antagonist and a protagonist. So you always need that Cinderella,
yeah.
What was it? Not Cinderella. What was the other word we're looking for?
The Evil Sisters.
Not the Evil Sisters, but the parody team, so to speak. Those guys. It's just like, how the fuck did they get in? Well,
I mean,
I think you need it. It's fun to root for them too. But sometimes I like rooting for the villain. I like something. I just want to crush them. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, trust me. If you're 15-0 and you're in an 18-game season, let's go. I want you, and I don't want you just to win by a point or two. I want you to win by 50. I really want to say that team was that good. The problem with, for instance, Tiger Woods, in his reign of terror, was they were saying that there was no who was the other guy. At least when you had Jack Nicklaus, you had Trevino. Well, you had a bunch of other guys that Arnold Palmer. So there was all these guys. There was nobody. Nobody was touching Tiger.
That's what's always the fun part too, is when the media tries to get someone to rival, because let's face it, it does get boring. Like the guys that Dom talk about the same guy 24/7, and you gotta bring in hey, this is the guy who's gonna. But I always found it funny when they're like, oh, this guy. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Not just Tiger Woods, but with anything that matter. Yeah. Like, oh, this team could upset him. Yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah. And that's what they're doing. With
Come
Kentucky
on,
right
man.
And they're doing that with Kentucky right now. Oh, watch out for Wisconsin. They do have, and Wisconsin's a great team. And they got some great players, but they got 3 or 4 big guys. Well, Kentucky's got 9 big guys.
Do you get paranoid about when the media keeps hyping your team up and you're like, dude, you're good, you're jinxing us?
It's not so much the jinx, it's the Goliath syndrome. Again, we talked about it. If you're Goliath, either you are the bad guy because you are Goliath and you're beating on the little guy, or you're Goliath and you're getting some David coming along to slingshot you right between the eyes. So Kentucky's got the Goliath syndrome going on right now, and I worry about that because they're always, and it's not the story of Kentucky that's on ESPN. The story is who can beat Kentucky. So every time they're whipping out Wisconsin can do it, and this, blah blah blah. So you get tired of hearing it, and it's like, well, why don't you guys just go play the games and we'll figure all that out. They're not even doing stories about Kentucky anymore. They're just who can beat it, how can you beat it? Oh my God, what can we do? Well, you can tell you how to beat them, but do you have the guys to do it? Is that kind of thing. That's like we talked about in football. We knew how to beat Seattle. Did you have the guys that could do it? Well,
can you execute?
Everybody but the last team did, or didn't. So that New England found a way to get it done. So that's what's going on. But I don't like the being rewarded for the mediocre performance. We're all like, I don't think anybody from the NFC South last year in pro football should have gone to the playoffs. If you can't play .500 ball. Going to the playoffs is a privilege. You didn't earn that privilege. Sorry. And you can't say, well, they were all beating each other up. No, they weren't. They only played each other for 6 games. Right? That means there were 10 other games that you didn't do anything with. So don't give me that crap they were beating each other up. Because if you're beating each other up, at least one team's getting the win out of that. Tampa didn't. So and that kind of thing. So I don't like parity, and it does keep you interested. Oh yeah, and I hate that they're mathematically in the chase. I don't care.
I don't really hear Matt. You hear me talk about 5 years of community college? That math's a bad word.
Did you ever think that this year that the Dolphins were going to make the playoffs, even though they were in the picture?
On the Xbox, yes.
Well, on the Xbox would be about the only way. So I don't like parity in the sense that I want good games every once in a while. I want Kentucky to win every game by 50. I don't care. Let me just get the championship. Show one shining moment. Blah blah blah. We'll go on. But the rest of it, you do want to see good games and stuff. But I like a dominant performance where you just go, that team or that guy or that girl or that athlete is that much better than everybody else, that it makes some sport that I don't even care about worth watching. And that's what Tiger Woods was. That's what Ronda Rousey's doing right now. Things that
you think she could beat a guy?
No.
Not even like a guy that was with like her weight class, let's say, like her size.
No. And to put it in perspective, even though Kentucky is taller than every team in the NBA with the exception of the Portland Trailblazers, Kentucky couldn't beat even the New York Knicks. I mean, it's a difference. It's just a difference between 19, 20-year-old guys playing against 27-year-old grown men, and still a man and a woman, if they're both trained, okay, assuming that all the training and the skill levels are the same, the man's going to have the speed and strength advantage over a woman. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of guys Ronda Rousey could whip their ass, but not a guy who's equally trained as she is and has the same skill set. It's man versus woman. And it's not a slight on women. Ronda Rousey's phenomenal, But again, you got to go with who you're going against.
There you have it. Charlie India says women can't do shit. Yeah, so I'm laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing at myself for that one. I don't know either.
I don't either. Just close the third.
All right, let's go. We're going to the fourth quarter. We'll be back with more Stiff Arm. Fourth and final quarter here on the Stiff Arm. Yay!
That's them.
Stiff Arm. Yeah, they're like, thank God. Shut the fuck up.
What's wrong with these guys?
So, little NFL, free agency frenzy kind of slowed down. It's always, free agency. We're talking with your boy about free agency. It's only usually about 2 weeks. It's like one intense week of it. Everyone gets what they need. And then, the other guys that are still available, they kind of is a wait and see option because the draft's coming up.
Right.
So teams will start now. It's like, all right, we got the key pieces we want, and now let's start bringing in the younger guys and work it from there. Interesting thing, I did talk to a buddy of mine on my football team. He's a Cowboys fan. First of all, I did tell him, I said, listen, next football season we might not be watching as many games, so we might be bringing in field reporters for certain teams. So listen, if you're out there, if you're a fan of a particular franchise and you want to be a field reporter for the Stiff Arm with Ron Mexico, email us, man. Facebook, Ron with 2 N's Mexico. The Stiff Arm with Ron with 2 N's Mexico. On Facebook. Comments here. We have email addresses somewhere. We'll have to figure out what they are.
Charlie.india@yahoo.com.
TSAwRM @gmail.com, which stands for the Stiff Arm with Ron Mexico. But seriously, we need correspondence. We don't want to have to watch. As much as I love watching football, I don't want to have to go through that again. I don't want to have to go through the Clockwork Orange syndrome of watching, especially Jaguar, Jaguar, Buccaneer, and I'd say even Dolphin games.
Well, I mean, and for those of you again don't know what we're talking about, over the course of the last football season, to be informed about what we were talking about, because we do try to, believe it or not, come across like we know something. We watched all or part of every single game that was played, 17 weeks. Every game. So it was fun, but it got to be, oh my gosh, I got to do this. Oh, I blinked. I got to go back.
Yeah, I can't take seeing another Jaguars Texans game.
Well, nobody can see that. So.
But the NFL, so right now there's an owners meeting, some warm location with a golf course,
Phoenix,
and
which is beyond warm.
And during this time is when they usually propose rule changes or things they want to. And there's an article we came across that's talking about Belichick. And it says Belichick went on a profane tirade over NFL's stinginess. Now, you got to read it a little bit more than I do. What did old Billy...
What he's wanting, what he was proposing is that the NFL puts 4 fixed cameras in each end zone to just cover all the boundaries of the end zone to determine whether things actually a touchdown or not. So you're looking at 4 in one end zone, 4 in the other. They're fixed. They don't move. That's all they focus on. The whole game is the goal line, and I'm assuming the out of bounds and the back out of bounds line would be for the end zone. Why he has a particular beef with that, I don't understand, but that's his thing. So you're looking at 8 fixed cameras for each field, each game, and the NFL said, look, we're not doing that. And so he went on this, profanity-laced tirade that was he was so mad about it, according to the article, he was so mad about it that people were just laughing. They just thought it was hilarious that he was being all this crazed over this thing. And why, I don't know if they have a particular beef with New England scoring a touchdown or not. I don't know why this would be such a big deal to him, but that's what he was wanting.
I think I'm gathering from what I'm skimming in the article here is he's talking about how in his quote he says we spend money to move the Pro Bowl every year, and there was another article that they wanted to possibly put the Pro Bowl in Brazil.
Yeah. Well, that was part of his argument.
And I agree with him. It's like why are you? They so want to promote the game. Goodell so wants to make the NFL like how soccer is on this worldwide global scale. It's never going to happen. Yeah. And the reason it's never going to happen is because this isn't years ago when England was conquering basically the entire world.
The sun never sets.
And forcing their lifestyle on the countries they occupied. It wasn't, listen, they occupied. They were the Germans before the Germans were the Germans. But, that way of life and that game was spread all over the world. The United States, you don't see football stadiums going up in Afghanistan and in Iraq any fucking time soon and spreading our way of life. But it's never going to happen. And I kind of agree with Belichick. And I like using replay. Now, everyone's bitch about replays. Oh, my God, it takes too much time. It makes the game so fucking long. Listen, you miserable fucking assholes who are complaining about that. Don't you go watch football on a Sunday to get away from your family, to get away from your wife? Don't you want that thing to last as long as you can before you got to go back to reality? Who fucking cares if they're divided? Get another goddamn drink. Who gives a shit? Why do you care if it's going to make the game longer? And especially in a game where people are bitching about deflated balls and about this and about that. Don't you want the shit to get called right?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, exactly. And
especially when I root for a fucking franchise that it's interested in hosting Super Bowls. I need every advantage I can get to get a fucking win. And if you want this parody bullshit and all this and to see Goliath get knocked off, why not put it in there? And I think it's pretty admirable for a guy whose team is constantly being accused of everything and anything. Maybe that's a smokescreen he's putting up saying, I'll be a proponent for this to throw the heat off us for that. That'd be a brilliant move too. But if you have the technology to do it, why not use it?
And it's not like the old days. It's not like when replay first came around in the 70s and 80s, where it did take a long time to do it. Right now, if you watch a football game right now, every single play, while they're getting back in the huddle and before they run the next play, you can see at least 3 replays of the play that just happened.
Even from angles beyond the grassy knoll.
And that's why going to the games is so tough. Because when you go to a game live, bam, the play happens. You're watching guys walking back to a huddle, nothing. Whereas the rest of the world is seeing how the play developed, what the coach was, getting the comment of the guy that was going on and everything else. And you're sitting there like drinking a beer. So the idea that, they can instantly that's why it's called instant replay now. They can actually do it that fast. So if they can do it that fast, do it. Get it right. I don't want to hear human error. Baseball has that big thing. Human error is part of the game. Yeah, Why?
Baseball is the most ignorant of all of them because you're just like, it takes away this national pastime. It's the blah, blah, blah. And it's a game that takes very long either. Well, stop making the guys scratch their fucking nuts so goddamn much. Get them all out some Cruex or something. Baseball's another one. It's like, get the fucking calls right.
Yeah, and they can. And they've got all kinds of technology that'll work and all that kind of stuff. But again, if you've ever seen a football game, the instant replay is truly instant now. Now, does the referee have to go look at it? Does it take a few seconds to do that? Yeah, give them time. Because let's do this. Let's put the referees on a clock. And we're going to use the poker philosophy. If you think long, you think wrong. whatever the call is on the field, if you can't figure out in a minute and a half that call is wrong, then the call stands. Because that way the games don't get taken out that much longer. You still get the advantage of seeing it on replay. Let's go.
I think they do give them a certain amount of time to review whatever it is to review.
I want a fixed amount of time. I want a clock sitting right there going,
Jeopardy thing.
Exactly. And that kind of deal. And that way you don't have to worry about the length of the game. It's not going to take that long to do it. Let's go.
Now, one of the arguments too was, I think Belichick was saying he wanted about, what was it? About challenging calls on the field.
He wants the referees. He wants the coaches to be able to challenge penalties. That wasn't pass interference. Go take a look at it. All right. Now you're getting into an area where
the one penalty I have a problem with in this whole season was the 5 yard within 5 yards. Okay, I get that within 5 yards you can beat the shit out of somebody. But what I don't like is how teams use that as an offensive play. I wish there's got to be a way. In basketball they have the flop rule.
Yeah.
Is there not something in the NFL we could come up with that teams are like? Don't give the yards, but quit making it an automatic first down.
Yeah,
that's killing people.
Oh, sure.
You have a team stone cold.
Yeah, and then
automatic first down.
Right.
Fuck off.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I get, and I don't know why offenses don't take more advantage of that. If I know you're going to hit me in 5 yards as a defensive player, as an offensive player, I'm going after you in the first 5 yards. Now let the referees figure that out, and go on. But the idea that I don't know what I can't see him or them. Well, they're never going to approve this rule to begin with. But the idea is, do you stop it for a holding penalty? How are you going to do that? There's holding every play, So what are you going to do with that? Pass interference, blah blah blah. What penalties? And the article didn't go into a whole lot about that, but it was just what penalties do you want to be able to review?
In a league that prides itself on such a physical game, don't you think maybe we have it to where if a guy's running, that he can grab him, or he can hold him, or he can?
Well, I think that the only one that I get that I don't like is
if you want competition, you got to really get away from this guy.
Well, yeah, and the one I don't like is when the defensive player is standing here and the offensive player comes this way. Well, he impeded his progress. Well, is it impeding your progress? Not the very definition of defense. Is that not what I'm supposed to do? So I don't get that kind of stuff. And so again, the article was by Doug Ked or K-I-E-D or whoever.
K-Y-E-D.
Yeah. And it was a good article, but the idea is that they didn't go into a whole lot of detail. He wasn't even at this meeting. He's just reporting it from other people. But he did a damn good job on it. But the idea is, which penalties are you going to be able to review? But getting back to replay, I think they should use replay for every out of bounds, was it a catch, was it not a catch? Was it a fumble, not a fumble? All this stuff can be reviewed, and the coaches challenge. Why would you have coaches challenge when you can watch every play 25 times in a matter of seconds? It's just amazing. Again, just watch the game because you've gotten so used to it that you don't pay attention to it. But you're seeing 3 replays of the play that just happened in the time it takes these guys to get to the huddle and start walking back to the line of scrimmage. And they're already back before the huddle even breaks. And they've shown you three different angles. And I don't, again, Bill, that rule about the end zone thing, I don't get that either because how many more angles do you need? They can do that thing where they telescope the camera in and you can see each blade of grass and all that. So I don't know what it's all fired up about, but they won the Super Bowl, so calm down. But I love replay. I think they should use it a lot. I think they should use it more. Now, it might not be a bad idea to what they've started doing is having that dude in New York, watching it so that you don't have to do everything on the field. He can just say, yeah, that was blah, blah.
You want to talk about a guy that's watched way too many fucking balls. Imagine having that dude's job.
The problem is he probably hasn't watched that many games. He's watched a lot of plays. He might not even know who won the Super Bowl, but he's watching a lot of plays. But they can do it that way. Have a third official or fifth official, or however many officials they have in the booth. That's your replay guy. He's not just going to call down and say, hey, there's a replay. He's going to watch the replay. He's going to call down, hey, I'm going to watch this on replay. Bam, bam, bam. He's the final authority. There we go. There you go from there. And you're done. I don't need to have some guy walk over to do this, 1930 voting thing where, you got to do that or like this.
Matthew Brady taking a picture of Lincoln.
Exactly. I don't need that. I don't, that kind of thing. Have the guy in the booth who has, such a situation like this and just bam, bam, bam. Okay. Yeah, that was a catch. No, it wasn't. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. I'm the official making this call.
Another article I saw says report Browns and Falcons facing severe discipline for unspecified violations. They are specified.
Yeah.
The Browns got in trouble. It says although the violations weren't disclosed, it's widely believed the Browns will be penalized for allegedly sending text messages from the press. Okay, first of all, what are you going to penalize them for? It's not like they won anything. It's not like they got an advantage. It's not like they went to the playoffs.
Aren't they penalized enough by playing in Cleveland? I mean, come on.
And the Falcons are going to penalize for pumping in crowd noise. Again, I say penalize them if you felt like it benefited them somehow. It didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't do shit. Did you see that record? Did you not hear what we just talked about, the NFC South? How fucking bad that division.
And if you're a coach in a football game, do you even have your phone with you? You know, I mean, who's
getting the text message?
Exactly.
I mean, it's got to be some flunky on the sideline. I would imagine.
Trust me, if I'm not text messaging it, if I'm the owner and I want something done, there's some flunky going to go down and tell the head coach. Boss said.
It'd be funny if the guy sent the wrong text and it said, "I want to suck your dick." Oh wait, no, the wrong part, wrong text. Right? Hey, here's the Browns' latest play. That's someone's asshole. Yeah, that's what we're playing. It is the Browns. But
the crowd noise I kind of get. It just does disrupt the other team's offense in the sense that you can't.
Well,
but again, the fact that Atlanta didn't do anything.
Did you remember years back that they were issuing bench penalties because of crowd noise? Yeah. That was the biggest load of shit.
And then the signal that the referees would give them, hey, you're going to get the penalty.
Hey, you guys can't yell so loud.
Exactly. That's why I'm there. You know?
Hey, but that was the brilliance and the beauty of home field advantage, and you know what? And that's something I feel is absent in a lot of sports. I feel like a lot of teams, like their dominance. It's almost like when they left that place. It's almost like whatever magical power or whatever influenced the home team, it's gone. I mean, like Boston, like when you played in the Boston Garden during the NBA Finals, it was miserable. From what I understand, there was no AC.
And it was miserable for everybody. The AC, there were seats. Whole section that were behind big poles. You had your whole game. You're sitting, trying.
But it's even the proximity of the seats, the fans to the court, the noise volume. It's like when the Dolphins played in the Orange Bowl. They were such a dominant force because those fields were so the seats are so close to the field. Now it's all the stadiums are all kind of like they're all kind of because it's like 3 architectural firms that probably build every stadium in the United States. And
you pick your head coach. Well, he did it all right over there. Let's do him all right over here now.
So it's almost like everything's like a neutral site for everybody. So it isn't there. And that's like like the Raiders used to get accused of in the 70s. And Madden would always laugh. In different articles I read about John Madden, he would say teams would accuse him of watering the field in Oakland to make it slippery. Oh, yeah. It's like wouldn't he make it slippery for his own guys as well? And he kept trying to explain. He was listen, the field sits low and. With the water table is, and it's always wet, and the Bay Area is always kind of.
Now, you know who's famous for that is baseball, and you wouldn't think that that'd be such a big deal. But for instance, if you have a fast team but not a strong team, you grow your grass longer because it slows the ball down so that your fast guys can run to first base, as opposed to a power team. You just want that thing out of the thing. See, it's just weird stuff like that. The way you grow your grass can affect how the game plays.
I mean, I did something like that. We were in the football league I'm in. We were playing, it's usually like a big soccer field, and they'll split it up into 4 quarters, and you play like on a 50, 60-yard field or something like that. It's almost like arena football. Anyway, we were playing a team I knew was really, really, really fast, and we were quick, but not as fast as these guys, so I elected to play on the muddiest. They go, the other team wants to go, Joe, you're the one. I said, no, we're playing right here. Right in the mud pit. Yep. And I was like, God, bullshit, man. It's not cheating. It's within the rules.
Sure.
I wanted to level the playing field, literally.
That's right.
And we played. I kind of miss that gamesmanship a little bit about sports, where it's kind of going.
Well, that's called cheating. I mean, it used to be gamesmanship. Now it's cheating.
The polite euphemism.
Oh, sure it is. I mean, things like that. But I don't know. Well, speaking of that, there's an article out saying now that as many as 2 teams might be in LA. 1 by next year, and 2 within a year after that. Oakland, St. Louis, and San Diego are the 3 of the 2 teams. Now, the other side of that article is that they're trying to keep the teams there because of the home field, the fans that are already there, trying to keep that kind of nostalgia going. I mean, is just how's the NFL, you think, going to deal with this issue? If you take St. Louis away from St. Louis, now you already have a base and you have fans and everything else, and then
so let me tell you something. First of all, St. Louis, you have no football fans. You are a baseball town. I don't give a fuck where you go. I mean, you ask anyone in St. Louis, they go, "Who's the team here?" They're going to say the Cardinals. It's the Redbirds. Blues would be second. The only reason the Rams are a blip on the radar in St. Louis is because you got lucky. You got lightning in the bottle. You got Kurt Warner. I mean, he fell into your lap. Fortunately, Trent Green blew his knee out, and you got Warner. The rest is history. So you had about 5 good years of football, and combining both football teams, the now Arizona Cardinals when they were there, and you combining the Rams. So you've had about 45 years of football. In 45 years, you've had 5 decent seasons combining probably both clubs. You are a foster home of NFL franchises, St. Louis. I'm sorry. You people might be very nice. There's some lovely people in St. Louis, but you're not a football town. I don't give a shit. You're not it. If you're such a football town, why can't you hang on to? Now you have another team leaving. Why can't you hang on to them? It's not the demographic. It's not there. It's just like everyone bitches. Why can't Orlando have a professional football team? It'll never happen. There's too many other.
But you got Tampa Bay, Jacksonville, Miami. I mean, my gosh.
I mean, but I don't think an NFL team would ever survive in Orlando. I don't think it'll work. There's too many people from other places. Yeah. Not that people go, God, I can't wait to move to St. Louis. It's more like, God, I can't wait to leave St. Louis. St. Louis, you will always be a foster home. Don't worry, Jacksonville is coming your way. But out of San Diego's, Oakland, and St. Louis, I say, you know what, LA, fuck you. You get one team. As much as I want to see a team in LA, you get one. You lost both of your Well, Oakland was never really your franchise. They were just kind of there just to get away from Oakland for a while. But Oakland, I don't want to see Oakland move. I'm a traditionalist. I always want to hear Oakland Raiders.
Right,
I always think Oakland Raiders. I mean, Los Angeles Raiders work too, but you're the Oakland Raiders. The Rams, I know a lot of you don't know. The Rams originally went from Cleveland to L.A. to St. Louis and now back to L.A. You're the L.A. Rams. No one remembers. Anyone that remembered that they were the Cleveland Rams are dead or just have no life, such as myself. Any of you that remembered that some of you, the only reason you're going to know the Cardinals were in St. Louis is because the baseball team will come up in that conversation. But the Rams should have always been LA's team. They should have never left Los Angeles. That should have never been an issue. One of those two teams should have always stayed. So St. Louis, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel, oh my God, this poor St. Louis Rams fans. Every time I see anyone in Rams jerseys, I go, you from LA? I always ask them that. And they go, what? No, man, it's St. Louis Rams.
St. Louis.
And that's what makes me laugh about the St. Louis Rams is the St. Louis Rams, like even in their stadium, like most NFL stadiums, they have like a ring of honor where they have like all the players who play for them. They have guys in the ring of honor who were St. Louis Cardinals. They have Dan Deerdorf up there. I think Jim Hart's name is up there. They never played for the Los Angeles. They never played for the Rams franchise. I know they played in St. Louis, but they never played for the Rams ever. So when the Rams, when they go back, guess what? Marshall Faulk he played for the Rams franchise. It's just like it's like with Tennessee. It's like especially when they changed their name. Everybody talks about Earl Campbell, and I was like, Earl Campbell didn't play for the Tennessee Titans. Earl Campbell played for the Houston Oilers.
Absolutely.
So that's a big difference. That's a lot of guys. It's like even like with Unitas when the Colts left Baltimore, he refused to acknowledge that the franchise existed. He goes, I don't know who that team is. When the Ravens came in, he was more than happy to because it was Baltimore. He was proud of where he played, the tradition that was there. I'm so used to calling them the Indianapolis Colts now. I still slip every once in a while and call them the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah, it was tough at first. It was real tough.
It was really weird. Where the fuck is that? The car race? Oh, yeah. And the basketball team with a big, tall Dutchman named Rick Smits? Oh, yeah. And a guy with big ears, Reggie Miller. That's what they play. But, I knew.
That was good. For a non-basketball guy. But,
I'm a traditionalist. If I was commissioner for the day, I would put everything back the way it was. I would make the Texans wouldn't exist. They would be the Oilers. You would have a franchise, but I would insist you call them the Oilers. Titans could still be the Tennessee Titans. The Ravens should make them the Colts again. Why not? Let's have some fun. Indianapolis come up with a better name, but at least it works.
Yeah.
And some of them, it's like the one team I never got, and why they would not give up their name was Utah. Was the Jazz.
The Jazz. The Utah
Jazz.
Just
give the New Orleans team the name back.
Yeah, especially since they have the Pelicans now. Let's give them the Jazz back.
It's just like you come up with something clever. Just pray to the tabernacle.
Something.
All right, let's get the hell out of here, man.
All right, let's do that.
All right, thanks again for tuning in. Remember, like us on Facebook, Ron with 2 N's Mexico, The Stiff Arm with Ron Mexico at Facebook. What's your email address?
Charlie.India at yahoo.com and Charlie India Talk Sports on YouTube.
And TSAwRM at gmail.com. Like us, follow us, give us something. Please make it worthwhile that we're wasting our lives doing this bullshit. Anyway, thanks again. And once again, this is Ron Mexico saying...